Alright, I think that's working. Yep. Sure enough. Alright, good. Let's get on in here. See what happens. Clean up this audio.
And the what I'm doing.
The what I'm doing.
What I'm doing?
There we
Man,
go.
I'm a busy guy lately, and I like every second of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told you in the email earlier. Yeah. So I told you.
Don't need all those eyes.
I told you in the email earlier.
Move that over. Pew, pew.
I told you in the email earlier I was working.
Wait a minute.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email earlier I was working.
Not natural enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email earlier.
Shoot. Extend that a bit.
Yeah. I told you in the email earlier I was working on a Bucky.
That's fine.
Right.
You know, so the Bucky Badgers just got put out. So I've been down there getting pictures taken with that and doing stuff with that. That was a.
Don't need all that stuff. Go right into the that was.
Put out. That was a pretty long project.
When did you start that? Because I know one other guy actually who was on the show.
Get to when he started it.
Phil.
He did one.
Which I've hung out with him a couple times with the Buckies, or at least we keep running into each other at the Bucky stuff all the time. So,
All right.
and his is cool.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to see his yet?
I did. We saw his as he was working on it because they were
even better.
closing down the place that he was at, the
Right.
studio.
Yeah.
So
Which
does he
we meant
answer
to go
that?
to that closing of that building, that last art show, but we were stuck here till 10 o'clock that night because
Oh,
the
shoot.
nature of the tattoo business is when the sun's shining, you make the hay. And unfortunately,
That actually sounds more like farming.
it's reality. It's when the timing's right, you have to hit it.
All right, maybe I
And,
can use
if
that
you
whole
don't,
section
well, you're not
actually.
eating.
He's just kind of moved on. So,
Every second of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email earlier I was working on a Bucky.
Right.
You know, so the Bucky Badgers just got put out. That was a pretty long project.
When did you start that? Because I know one other guy.
Which I've hung out with him a couple times. See his yet?
I did. We saw.
We meant to go to that closing of that building, that last art show, but we were stuck here till 10.
So we could
the nature of the
probably-
tattoo business is when the sun shines.
yeah, we could probably go right up to that. Maybe. Let's see how that sounds together.
Just got put out. That was a pretty long project. The nature of the
Oh, little extra breath in there. Let's see now. Move that over. Go pa-pow.
Right.
You know, so the Bucky Badgers just got put out. That was a pretty long project. The nature of the tattoo business is when the sun's shining, you make the hay. And unfortunately,
That actually sounds more like farming.
All right.
it's reality. It's when the timing's right.
Don't need my idiot comment in there.
And unfortunately,
Cut that right out.
it's reality. It's when the timing.
When the timing. So do that. Slide over.
When the timing's right, you have to hit it.
Better.
And if you don't, well, you're not eating.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're in a lucky business, though, that we do get to stay.
All right. See if he moves on from there.
But yeah, so the Bucky, though.
Oh, he did go back to the bucket.
That one, they only gave me, technically.
Shoot. I probably don't need all that other stuff then. That
Yeah. I told you in the email earlier I was working on a Bucky.
still doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email. Put out. That was a.
All right, I could probably get rid of that whole thing then. So let's go back. Let's start this over. What do we got here?
Right.
You know, so the Bucky. Second of that.
The heck did that? Oh, weird. Accidentally just put something on the timeline. There we go.
What I'm doing? Man, I'm a busy guy lately, and I like every second of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extend that. Go back and fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email.
Shoot. Why does that not sound right? There's a little bit of something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you in the email.
Oh, that's why.
Every second of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you in the email earlier I was working
Duh.
on Bucky.
Right.
You know, so the Bucky Badgers just got put out.
Delete that and go into when he made them.
Just got put out. But yeah, so the Bucky though, that one they only gave me.
All right. Boom. Just remove like
just
5
got
minutes
put
worth of
out.
stuff.
That one they only gave me technically like about a month. And
Okay.
so that took an entire month out of life. And I was in the middle of other projects, plus I had the full-time work, so I just spread a whole bunch of regular schedule stuff around to get that Bucky done.
Yeah.
And then there's been several events where we've had to go, like the release, the first release, and then the second release, well, the private release and the public release. And they were, it just took a whole ton of time recently. And then I just finished an Ale Asylum can, which gets premiered.
Just missed a whole bunch of stuff. All right, hold on.
Plus I had the full-time work, so I just spread a whole bunch.
Yep.
So I just spread a whole bunch of regular
There
schedule
we go.
stuff around to get that Bucky done.
Yeah.
And then there's been several events where we've had to go, like the release, the first release, and then the second release, well, the private release and the public release. And they were, it's just
Well,
spread
hold
a
on.
whole bunch of regular schedule stuff around to get that Bucky done.
Yeah.
And then there's been several events where we've had to go, like the release, the first release, and then the second release.
get rid of that part because then he says it again right there.
The release, well, the private release and the public.
Get rid of well, what the?
To go, like the release, private release and the public release.
There we go.
And they were, it just took a toll.
Don't need that.
Release.
Didn't sound natural. There's an inhale in there somewhere.
Release. It just took a whole ton
There we
of
go.
time recently, and then I just finished an Ale Asylum can, which gets premiered very, very soon.
I didn't know about that one.
This one's fun. It
Okay.
just got released on the internet.
Get rid of my microphone.
I didn't know.
So let's make that larger so I can see this stuff. Okay.
Soon.
I didn't know about.
So there's me moving the mic. Get rid of that noise. Go right into what I'm talking about.
Very soon.
I didn't know about that one.
This one's fun.
More mic noise. Bloop. There.
That one.
This one's fun. It
Okay.
just got released on the internet last night, but the
Got an Time to get rid of the
internet last night, but the Hoppalicious can, I did a painting, and it's a version of the original, but it's different. And so now the new face of the Hoppalicious can is a painting I did,
Okay.
which I'm super.
Get rid of all that and go. Oops. Grab the wrong side. Pew. Come on. All of a sudden my mouse is being
painting
weird.
I did. I'm super excited about that one
All right.
because well, we run a big charity through here, which is it's the largest.
Don't need that. Says it twice. Get to the point. Bring it in.
Is well, we run a big charity through here. It's the largest one-day toy drive for Toys for Tots. We think in the country. We can't find one bigger, but it's at least the biggest in the Midwest.
All right.
And so we're doing instead of taking any payment on this can, they're donating a percentage of every can sold to the event, which will help run the event. We're going to be able to make it bigger, more advertising, more banners, signs, T-shirts. You know, it's already huge.
Quicken that up there. I like it. He's got a good talk
T-shirts.
flow.
It's already huge, but now we're going to make it huger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any sort of.
Get rid of my noise in the background.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Put the mic up to your mouth already, Tom. Yeah.
We're going to make it huger.
Any sort of event.
There we go. Let's see how that works.
Huger.
Any sort of event helps.
Yeah.
And how are you getting involved in these? And how are you?
Yep. Get right to the point. How are you? How are you?
How are you getting?
Good Lord.
Sort of event help. How are you getting?
Oops. Cut the wrong part. Ha.
Event helps. And
And. Only one and. And then how are you? Get in there, make it closer. Pew pew.
Helps. And how are you getting involved in these? Like, first of all, how did you...
Not first of all. Just how did you?
In these, like, how did you...
Not
involved
like.
in these, like, how did you...
Where's like? Why am I saying like?
In these, like, how did you... Getting involved in these, how did you...
Ugh, doesn't sound right. Gotta keep the like.
In these, like, how did you... With the Bucky thing, like...
How did you, with the Bucky thing, get rid of that? How did you get to the question?
How did you... You only had a month to do it. Did they approach you? Did you...
Ah,
In these, like, you only had a month to do it. Did they approach you? Did... It's like, how did you approach you? Did you...
shoot. Gotta keep it. Otherwise, the question don't make sense.
He's like, how did you, with the Bucky thing, like, you only had a month to do it. Did they approach you? Did you sign up for it? And the Ale Asylum thing, like, how are you getting these projects?
How are you getting these projects? Actually, at the end there, I probably ask all of them. I could probably get rid of this entire first part. So I can get to the point.
Huge
You only had a month to do it. Did they approach you? Did you sign up for it? And the Ale Asylum thing, like, how...
Yeah.
To do it, did they approach you? Did they approach you? Did you sign up for it? And the Ale Asylum thing, like, how are you getting these projects?
Yeah. It's all boiled down to just one thing at the end.
How are you getting these projects?
Took me 5 minutes to ask one thing.
How are you getting these projects?
over time.
All right, and then get rid of the mic noise. Much cleaner.
Get huge.
How are you getting these projects?
And then why am I saying how to?
How are you
getting these projects? Good Lord. Speak.
Get huge.
How are you getting these projects?
Projects.
These projects.
Over.
And then still some mic noise.
These projects.
Over.
How close can I get before the mic noise?
These projects.
Over.
Meh, I bet you we can just bleed it in. Right?
Getting these projects.
Over time,
There you
by
go.
building
That
up a
sounds
good
better.
name, they all come to me. Every single one of them came to me on that.
Patrol.
On that. The Bucky one, I'd already done
Weird breath. Right?
them came to me on that. The Bucky one,
Go right in.
one of them came to me on that. The Bucky one, I'd already done a cow, and I'd already done a giraffe for the.
I saw those, yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Already done a giraffe, so
a giraffe, and they were fun.
get rid of my background noise. Oops, did I just copy that? I did. Didn't mean to do that. All right, let's see if this does it.
On a giraffe, and they were
Get closer, because he's got an inhale there.
a giraffe, and they were fun. You know, that was like back.
They were.
And they were fun. You know. On a giraffe, they were fun. You know, that was like back in 2006 and maybe 2010 or something. But they were fun projects.
Yeah, keep that. Get rid of that part, because he goes back into that there, because he was thinking.
2010 or something. They were fun projects. They're all for the same guy who owns Midwest Family Broadcasting, and he has them all. He's purchased them. So he asked me to do the next one, so they all look the same, so they're all similar. So he keeps them in the middle of his big radio station building.
They're
Middle of his middle of his big radio station.
Might not be able to cut that one out.
In the middle of his big radio station.
Nope, doesn't sound natural. Oh well, leave that one.
Big radio station building.
Okay.
So they're
Right.
And then that's me in the background. Put the mic up to your face, dumb idiot, Tom. Me being Tom, that is.
building displayed all around it. So it's just to continue the process.
Where did you work?
There we go. Where?
Where did you work on?
There you go. That makes you sound like an intelligent
Process.
person.
Where
Tom?
did you work on it at?
What's that?
On it at?
Because I'm looking around here and I'm not
No,
sure
it's
that I
not
was
here.
sitting
No,
here.
I have a home studio too.
Okay.
But it started out.
Oh, got an
Okay.
But it started out when we get this cow years ago.
See if I got that in there good enough. Yep, I think so. A little bit of overlap. Make sure.
Okay.
But it started
Barrel.
out when we get this cow years ago. I built an art studio in my basement to do the cow. Then it
Got an Wait, did I copy this again? Gosh. I did. Keep copying tracks. All right, now where's the There it is. Found it right away. Get in there. See what you got.
my basement to do the cow. Then it flooded.
Awesome.
Thank you to insurance, I got a much better art studio out of it.
Okay.
And then along comes the giraffe and
Along comes the
studio out of it.
Okay.
And then along comes the
get rid of the and go to the giraffe.
along comes the giraffe and
Right?
along comes giraffe and then
Nope. Missed the entire word.
along comes the giraffe and that
There
was
we go.
perfect for that, and I was all ready to do the
A little bit of mic noise. I think there was an in there.
I was all ready to do
There is.
that, and I was all ready to do the
Was.
I was all ready to
I was already. I get it.
I was all ready to do the Bucky in the art studio.
So let's see if that flows.
Perfect for that, and I was all ready to do
Fade it in. Yep.
that, and I was all ready to do the Bucky
There
in
we
the art
go.
studio, and he didn't fit in the basement.
Oh no.
He was probably about a foot too wide and
Tighten that up a little bit.
in the basement. He was probably about a foot too wide in every single direction to go down the stairs and fit through the thing. So I had to make a makeshift art studio in my living room.
Okay.
And that
Cut that there. Get rid of my noise in the background.
my
I
living
think
room.
he repeats
And
himself.
That got a little tricky.
That got a little tricky. Go right there. Tidy it up a
In
bit.
my living room. That got a little tricky for about.
Why would you pick it?
Oh, let's just go right into my dumb question.
In my living room.
Why would you pick it? You're like, where's the hardest spot I could put it in the first?
Art studio in my living room.
You're like, where's the hardest spot I could put it in the first place? So I'll do the basement. Like, why wouldn't you just do that to begin with?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I forgot about that part. That's funny.
Do that to begin with.
Yeah, I have no idea. The whole basement.
Get rid of that. Go right into the whole basement.
Idea. The whole basement, just as it wasn't being used, there's this big empty, just junk space.
Yeah.
So why not turn it into something to make stuff in? And
Okay.
yeah, and then at the same time, my office was down there at that time for doing business work, and since then,
Whoop, got an See if I caught it.
doing business work, and since then that's moved, but
Probably get rid of that inhale.
business work, and since then that's
Nope, doesn't sound right.
since then that's moved, work, and since then that's moved, but because it flooded, but so it's just a
Since
nice
it's-
art studio. Since then that's moved, but because it flooded.
But we already know that part, so we can take it out and go right into the butt. That the phrasing.
Moved, but so it's just a nice art studio, but
All right, let's try that again.
and that's moved, so it's just a nice
Duh. Get rid of the duh. Get in there.
So it's just a nice art.
So it's just. See if that flows.
Since then that's moved. So it's just a nice
Yeah, fade it in.
work, and since then that's moved.
Then fade that in too. Shoot.
And since then that's moved. So it's just a nice art studio, but most stuff
Better.
is paintings. You know, I can take a painting up and down stairs.
Yes.
Even the giraffe was no big deal. I could get it in and out. Yeah.
That's like.
My God, put the microphone up to my face. Let's see here.
Like.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's like.
All right, what do I actually say?
What made you think?
How what?
What made you think?
Get in there. A little bit of noise beforehand. What made you think?
What made you think that it was gonna?
There we go. Bring that there. Interruption.
No.
What made you think that it?
All right, let's see.
Even the giraffe was no big deal. I could get it in and out.
What made you think that it?
Up and downstairs.
Yes.
Even the giraffe was
See if I can just go right there.
downstairs.
Yes.
What made you think that it was gonna fit in the basement? Also, you know, it's
No, well, I got given the project before I saw it.
Okay.
So I was given.
Get rid of this. So
Before I saw it, I was given a piece of paper with measurements, and when I pulled out the tape measure,
the
and when I pulled out tape measure, not
it bleeds over. Keep it.
tape measure, not even close,
All right.
not even possible.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Wait, and where did it?
All right, so let's go to. That's
not even possible.
Yeah.
Wait, and where did it end?
Start your words, Tom.
Where did it end up at?
There we go.
Possible.
Yeah.
Where did it end up at?
Get rid of my yeah.
Even possible.
Where did it end up at? I know I've seen it, but I don't know where it is publicly.
It's 449 State Street, which is right dead center.
Which is.
Which is
Let's see if I can get rid of that one. Maybe.
Street, which is right dead center.
Oh, I could probably just do right dead center.
In State Street, right dead center State Street. If you're up and down it, it's
Well, then I just haven't gone that.
Oh, maybe I don't need that whole
if
section.
you're up and down it. No,
I was just on.
it's across the street from the chocolate shop and Pete
I didn't.
State Street, right dead center.
No, let's just go right to this part.
9 State Street.
'Cause
No,
I was just on State Street yesterday.
it's across the street.
Across the street from the chocolate shop. That makes more sense.
49 State Street. It's across the street from the chocolate shop and Pita Pit. If you take the two of those and put a line between them, he's in the middle.
No, I was literally.
And this part I could probably cut out because I know that I just say I was there and didn't see it.
There yesterday, so I just missed it. It was nighttime, yeah. Like, so I probably, and I was across the street. I went to the sushi place that was across the street, so I didn't see it. Yeah, I actually used to work where that Pita Pit was. It's funny going there. I used to work there when it was Art Wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that part is actually relevant because he talks about
Sushi place that was across the street, so I didn't see it. Yeah,
the
I
airbrush
actually used to
artist that
work
used to be
where that.
there. Just get right to that part of the story instead of my other dumb stuff I say.
Line between them, he's in the middle.
I actually used to work.
What's that?
And put a line between them, he's in the middle.
I actually used to work where that Pita Pit was. It's funny going there. I used to work there when it was Art Wave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally remember.
I
Get rid of the
I used to work there when it was Art Wave.
So it says.
It's funny going there. I used to work there when it.
I don't need to say it's funny when it.
He's in the middle.
I actually used to work where that pita pit was. It's funny going there. I used to work there when it.
Probably get rid of that whole thing.
The middle.
I used to work there when it was Art Wave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally.
I need the pita pit though.
Middle.
I actually used to work where that pita pit was. It's funny going.
Get rid of the it's funny going there.
Pit was. I used to work there when it was.
So right there, maybe?
Pita pit was. I used to work there when it was Art Wave.
Oh
There
yeah.
we go.
Oh, I totally remember that.
And then, oops, that's not where I meant to cut it. Cut it right there. Get rid of the laughter and go right to when he starts talking.
I totally remember that.
Art Wave.
Totally remember that.
Too far.
I totally remember that.
There we go.
Art Wave.
I totally remember.
Fade that in.
Art Wave.
I totally remember that. The airbrush shirts and the pressed shirts, and that place was exciting as a kid.
Yes. And those things. Yes. And those things, like we did those.
Right, and then I
Yes.
talk about
And
Art Wave
those
for a little while. We don't need to hear about that. Nobody needs to hear
Things
about
like
that.
we did those rarely. Basically, what it was is people went there to buy rock T-shirts. That's really like we had a whole wall of rock T-shirts, and that's what people actually bought there. But we still did the customs, you know.
Cool. The custom shirts excited me.
Custom shirts, and then he's going to talk about the airbrush artists. Which
The
is
custom
actually
shirts
very
excited me. And
Yeah.
I believe there's an airbrusher.
I believe there was an airbrusher. There's the story. That's what I was looking for. All right. Pew,
Exciting as a
pew.
kid. I believe there was an airbrusher part time there or something. Didn't you work in the window or something?
It was a
Time there or something. Didn't you work in the window or something?
it was a woman.
Right.
It was a woman act.
A woman.
Part time there or something.
It was a woman actually. She was from the Dells, so we hired her from the Wisconsin Dells because she did that there. But when she came here, yeah, like it was like it was interesting because
I just said something that went nowhere. Let's get rid of that.
there. It was interesting.
Nope, jumps in too hard. Fade that up. Faders up.
There. It was interesting because she was around my mom's age, and I don't know why I say the person is around my mom's age, and I feel like that's something where it's like I feel like it's like, well, she was around my mom's age. It seems weird to put that in there. I don't know. Just for some reason, it seems weird to call my mom out on that.
That is a very good point. All right. That's true.
It was interesting because she was around my mom's age, and people would come up and be like, I want a skull and this, and like ask for like this crazy stuff. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You know, that hits home.
Yeah.
Because I'm now, I'm 46.
But it actually leads into the next part of the story. Shoot, I'll keep it.
There. It was interesting because she was around.
Oh, I just need to get rid of the What do I got there? She was around Oops. Zoom in. Flow.
She was around my mom's age, and
Yeah, it
people
works.
would come up and be like, I want a skull and this, and like ask for like this crazy stuff. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You know, that hits home.
Yeah.
Microphone noise.
You know, that hits.
There we go.
Whatever.
You know, that hits home.
Yeah.
Because I'm now.
Hits home.
Because.
Yeah.
Because.
Don't need all that background noise. Go right to the point.
It's home. Because I'm now, I'm 46. And when I started tattooing, I was in my 20s. So that was early 20s. And I knew the newest things back then. And now at 46, I don't know the newest things. That's been a struggle to research all the time to figure out what 18 to 21-year-olds are asking for.
Yeah.
If I don't keep up on it all,
Get rid of my background noise there. So
asking for.
Yeah.
go right into it. Clean it up.
The 21-year-olds are asking if I don't
Oops, missed the word for.
asking for. Year-olds are asking for. If I don't keep up on it
There we
almost
go.
weekly, I fall behind so fast. I could totally feel.
We can clean that up.
I so fast. I could totally.
Go right to it. Right? That's where it was.
It totally feel.
There we go. So it says,
Fall behind so fast. It totally feel for
There
that
we go.
airbrush lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would go watch her.
get rid of my yeah. Woo woo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
for that airbrush lady. But I would go watch her because I couldn't figure out how to air.
Maybe get rid of that.
Watch her because I couldn't figure out how to airbrush for the
People
life of me.
would go do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how to airbrush for the life of me.
People would go do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. They.
I bought.
All right.
Do that.
Yeah, I bought the whole airbrush set and struggled and struggled.
I never got it.
It was an awful.
Get closer there. Do I need that? See that dog?
Struggled.
Do he bite?
It was an awful.
There we go.
Struggled. It was an awful experience. But I would sit and watch her and try and learn tricks on how to pull the finger back and how to use the different masks
How to use
different masks. And so I got a little bit out of her. But then when I finally bought videos and figured it out, made a whole lot.
She was your YouTube.
Get rid of the mic noise.
She was your YouTube.
There we go.
It out, made a.
She was your YouTube.
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah.
Then go right back to him.
Oh yeah.
Your YouTube.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Today I would just go on YouTube and punch that in and find out techniques. But I had to sit and stare and ask questions, and,
Yeah.
which actually, I don't know. That was just fun.
Yeah, leave that.
I don't know. That was just fun.
Yeah.
That-
Exactly.
So when did you
All right. Clean up that question right there. When do I start?
decide to start this place? Like, how did you get started?
I asked the question several times, don't I?
It's fun.
When did you decide to start this place? Like, how did you get started in with Ultimate Arts Tattoo and everything? I mean, did you just one day go, I'm going to open a tattoo shop?
Again, ask the same question 3 times, 3
That was
different
just
ways.
fun.
When did you decide to start this place? Like,
I'm going to use the first one and the last one.
everything. I mean, did you just one day go, I'm going to open a tattoo shop?
There we go. See if that works.
Start this place. Did you just one
Get that closer. Ooh. I'm going to start making noise effects.
place? Did you just one day?
That's not natural enough. Blend it in. Oops. Or leave the like. That was in there, right?
Place like did
Yeah, there we go. That'll work.
place like did you just one day go, I'm going to open a tattoo shop?
And then get right into the answer. So split that there. Where does he start?
No, it was a.
There we go. Flat out now.
Open a tattoo shop.
No, it was a path.
I bet.
Well, okay, it goes back all the way like high school.
Get rid of my background noise.
Path. Well, okay, it goes back all the way like high. Path. Okay, it goes back all the way like high.
Does that seem natural? I don't know if it does.
Path. Okay, it goes back.
No, it doesn't. Fine.
I bet.
Well, okay, it goes back all.
All right. Let's see. So if... Oh, hey. Hey, man, what's up? Sorry, just started looking at the comments. What's going on, Cerebral Audio? I know you. No, I am not going to. I might EQ it. I'm not sure yet. These are actually live interviews that I'm doing in his store, so I'm trying to keep, like, some of the interviews that I've done have actually been in, like, coffee shops and stuff, so there's tons of background noise. And I kind of like it. I'm just isolating it, so I might EQ it just to isolate the words. But we're in his tattoo shop, so there's really nothing going on in the background. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Plus, I've already normalized it. I normalized and compressed it in Audacity before I started doing this in here. So I don't know if that answers your question. But I don't know if I'd use reverb on an interview. That seems weird. If that answers your question at all. And this is for a different podcast I do where I interview artists around town where I live. Right, exactly. No, the remote. That's the first season that I did. This is the third season I'm working on right now. I did those online, and even being in the same town as the people I was talking to, still had problems with that. So the second season and the third season, I started going to where they are because they're all here in town, and that's the point of it. And I wanted to meet them. Oh, you have? Oh, cool. Nice. Shop.
No, it was a path.
I bet.
Well, okay, it goes back all the way.
And mainly
like
what
high
I'm trying to
school.
do
You
is I'm trying to make it so the interviews go well and everything's great. But yeah, I just riff it. I'm just talking to them, and I find out some cool things about them. But to get to that point, sometimes it takes me a while to get there, and I want to sound smarter than that.
all the way like high school. I used to hang out in a tattoo shop, and I thought this.
Yep. I like to get rid of the lip
tattoo
smacks
shop,
when they show
and
up.
I thought this was the greatest job ever, but the artwork was awful.
Okay.
So about 88, 89, about the best tattoos you'd see are what you look at it.
Get rid of that part.
See or what you look at it today and you think it's prison work. It's just garbage. It's
Clean that up. Pew.
prison work. It's just garbage. It's homemade. Was the best stuff back then.
Yeah.
And
Just funny because I have a homemade one, but mine was done at a party. Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments again. I'm switching back and forth in between editing and the comments. Well, good. I'm glad you've seen the cartoons. I actually interview a stop motion guy, and him and I collaborated on something just recently.
work. It's just garbage. It's homemade. Was the best stuff back then.
Yeah.
And so I could.
Oh, got an anda.
Then.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have done the artwork. It would have been bare.
There's actually a really interesting. I like to take out the andas and the ums. Yeah, it is much easier than Audacity. Because there's an old show, going back to what I was saying before I looked at the comment. There's an old show called CBS Mutual. Oh, no, CBS. Yeah, it was an experimental radio show by CBS in like the 60s, where they, not CBS Radio Mystery Theater, but like CBS Mutual Theater. No? God, great. Now I can't remember. But anyway, there's one that's specifically about audio editing, and it's like amazing, and it's all about how they used to edit video on tape, and just to make the interviews showing side-by-side comparisons, taking an interview where somebody kept saying and then just going back and taking out the ums and then playing the same thing, it just made it flow a lot more. So that's why I'm doing it with
these. I couldn't
these.
have done the artwork. It would have embarrassed me. But the life was.
Just because I'm trying to do more of a story podcast rather than a conversational. Conversational, of course you want that.
But the life was fun. I mean, I would sit and hang out in the tattoo. Was fun. I mean, I would sit and hang.
Like this. I could clean that up.
Fun. I mean, I would sit. I mean, I would sit and hang out.
Go right into the eye.
Sit and hang out.
Oh, where's the eye?
I would sit and hang.
Yep. There we go.
But the life was fun. I would sit and hang.
Ah, crap. It's not going to be natural, is it?
Was fun. I would sit and hang out in
There
the
we go.
tattoo shop, and everyone was just talking smack all the time and having fun, and it just seemed cool. And they drew, even though it was awful. They'd sit around and draw all the time.
Get rid of that. Knew that was coming. Sometimes after you do this a million times, you can recognize the ums.
To draw all the time. So then I went to art.
Oop, a little lip smack.
On a draw all the time. So then I went to art school.
Jumps in too much.
On a draw all the time. So then I went to art school and cooking school at the same time. That
Cooking school. That's right. I remember this part of the story. This is funny.
time. That was a neat part of the path, though, too. Same time. That was a neat part of the path, though, too.
Where'd you do that at?
Over at MATC.
Okay.
Why didn't I put the mic up to my mouth? I hate it when I ask in the background.
Over at MATC.
Okay.
When it was still MATC.
Right.
Now it's Madison College, right?
Right. Which MATC was really cool back then.
Yeah, how can I work that in?
And cooking school at the same time. That was a
Over at MATC.
school at the same time. Over at MATC.
Shoot. I gotta leave that background noise. Gotta remember to put the mic up to my face more.
School at the same time. That was a neat part of the path, though, too.
Where'd you do that at?
Over at MATC.
Okay.
When it was still MATC.
Right.
Get rid of me making fun of the MATC name.
Now it's Madison College, right?
Right. Which MATC was really cool back then.
Get right to the
Over
point.
at MATC. MATC was
Ah, crap. How am I gonna make that natural?
over at MATC. MATC
Ah.
over at MATC. MATC was really cool back.
Maybe if I fade it in, we'll see.
Over at MATC. MATC was really cool back then.
Nah.
It was an arts degree when you get the cooking.
No, we can just go right into what it is. Never mind, we don't need that. That's why.
Over at MATC. It was an arts.
Yeah, go right into its arts degree. Get to the point, right?
Over at MATC. It was an arts degree when you get the cooking degree, and then so that way I could go to art classes without having to be in the art program, and I could just go back and forth freely, and I took extra classes at night, didn't have to pay the extra tuition, and was able to use all.
Oops, sorry, just saw comment. What are you saying? Oh yeah, I tried OpenTunes. It was all right. Synfig looks like it's doing good, but there was another one I tried the other day that I really liked way more. Tupi's another good one. Oh, maybe OpenTunes is the one that I ended up liking. So I was trying like 3 different ones. Synfig is good, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't do what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. And I think you're right. I think This American Life might have done the thing I was talking about. Sorry, I have to keep coming back and forth to the comments because I'm just looking at the audio.
Was able.
Oh, and I ended up right on an Awesome.
Didn't have to pay the extra tuition, and was able to use all the resources in the art department.
Right.
So
There's actually a dude that I met that works over at the art
This is the art
department at
department,
MATC before
so
this.
didn't like the tattoo.
Get the so, get rid of the
Right.
So didn't
Oh, yeah, don't need me with the right either.
resources in the art department.
Right.
Duh. Where was I? There we go. Get rid of that. Delete. Boop. Move this over.
Art department. So didn't like the
Meh. Move.
department. So didn't like the tattoo business. Went into that thinking I'd work in the food advertising business. So I was trying to combine the two.
Oh, okay.
With you look at like gourmet magazines and stuff, these beautiful food
Which is super
displays.
funny
That's
because
what I
the
wanted
guy's
to do.
like,
Right.
That looked fun.
Okay.
the tattoo
But,
shop is like what you think a
there's not much
tattoo
work
shop
for that.
looks like.
It really
Not
wasn't.
really.
Yeah.
Well, at least when you were doing it,
All right. Put the mic up to my face.
maybe when you were doing it, maybe there wasn't. Like now, their entire network's dedicated to it, and yeah, basically it's all just.
Is that my question, or do I lead up to one eventually?
Wasn't.
Really.
When you were doing it, maybe there wasn't. Like now, their entire network's dedicated to it.
Oh, wait, did that flow in there?
It wasn't.
Really.
When you
Not much work for that. It really
Not
wasn't.
really.
Get rid of that whole thing.
Not much work for that.
when you were doing it, maybe there wasn't. Like now, their entire network's dedicated to it, and yeah, basically it's all just people cook everything. Cake shows
Yeah, back then there was like one or two.
I can clean that up.
dedicated to it, and yeah. People cook everything.
Yep. Get to what I was saying right there. Make it shoulder.
Network's
Shoulda.
dedicated to it. People cook everything. Cake shows.
Yeah, back then there was like one or two good cooking TV shows, and then that was it. And they were on public television, so you know they had big money involved there. You could probably maybe even feed a family, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But then all of a sudden, this explosion happened in the early '90s in tattoos. These guys, Paul.
Do I need that? Not sure.
Tattoos. These guys, Paul Booth and Guy Atkinson.
No, I don't, but I can get that closer.
These and tattoos. These guys, Paul Booth and Guy Atkinson and Philip Blue and all these tattoo artists. Any tattoo
Yep. A little bit of noise there. All right.
artist, any tattoo artist listening is gonna totally know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
No one else in the entire world will care.
Yeah.
But this group of people all of a sudden brought art into the business and actually made things look like paintings and look like they were real, not look like they were done in a carnival or
Okay.
a prison, and that got exciting.
Huh.
So then I looked into the idea of tattooing, and a guy kind of snagged me up
Like,
tattooing, and a guy
get that closer in there.
kind of snagged me up more
There we
than
go.
anything and brought me in, and I got to draw and paint and then learn how to do tattoos. And
Yeah.
that was a very quick, like a flight into the business.
Very quick.
Do
flight into the
tattoos.
business.
And
Yeah.
that was a very quick, like a flight into the business.
Yeah, probably just that last part.
Like a flight.
Yeah. 'Cause the rest of it still works for his pauses.
A very quick, like a flight into the business.
There we go.
It's interesting. You kind of remind me of.
Get rid of the it's interesting. Otherwise, every time I speak, I would say it's interesting.
Interesting. You kind of remind. Me.
Where's the U?
You kind of remind.
Where's that word?
You kind of remind.
There it is. Yeah.
The business.
You kind of remind me of.
Even though it's a abrupt mic change,
Into the business.
still fade it.
You kind of remind
There
me
we go.
of when the way you describe it reminds me of like
Great. All that time, and I can start it right here.
the way you describe it reminds me of like when
The business.
the way you describe it reminds me of like when Todd McFarlane came along and like he like changed the way the comic book industry depicted how
Depicted. Where's that? Depicted.
depicted how
There it is.
depicted how book
Right.
industry depicted how you're supposed to draw
There we go.
things.
100% same thing.
Oh, mic noise. Where'd that go?
Draw things.
One
Right there, right? Yeah. I bet.
Draw things.
100
Whoops.
Things.
100% same thing.
Right?
Draw things.
100
Too close. Too close. Cops by side. Going by outside.
Things.
100% same thing.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden everything went from like
Get rid of my yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Don't need me in the background.
Same thing. Because all of a sudden everything went from like
Like a.
really garbage. Like
Is that gonna make sense if I get rid of the possibly?
from like really garbage.
Maybe. Really garbage.
Everything went from like really garbage.
Nope.
From like really garbage to
That's
all of a sudden,
better.
oh, we can do quality, and it just piggybacked on itself, and that's never stopped ever since. We've had a lot of discussions recently about the idea how
Oh, checking this again. The new Synfig, yeah, it's been it got branched off into by like the Marina project or something like that. So if you're getting it straight from the repos, yeah, that one is missing lots of features, but there's a new one that has tons of features if you actually go to the Marina project. But then you have to download it from Gumroad to install it. Sorry, just looking at the comments. But OpenTunes is still good. I've tried that one, and it is good.
about every 5 years, another huge leap happens in the tattoo business. We're watching.
Let's see how much time I got going on here. Oh, good Lord, I have a lot to edit still. All right, I'm going to take a break. So anyway, I'll come back and do another one sometime soon. All right, bye.